Oh, oh, man, look at that, boy. Good God. I'm talking about, boy. Hopefully they had insurance. Good jeez, look. Good God, boy. A bank? Nobody went to that bank anyway.
On February 19th, 2026, multiple tornadoes touched down across Illinois and Indiana, with one particularly strong EF2 tornado striking Indiana. Conditions were favorable for tornado formation, with warm, humid air at the surface and strong winds aloft, creating rotation in the storm cells. Tornado warnings were issued as radar detected organized rotation, and several tornadoes carved paths of damage as the storms moved eastward. The strongest tornado formed west of Bloomington and tracked east across Monroe County in Indiana. Damage surveys later determined that the tornado reached EF2, with estimated peak winds near 120 miles per hour. The tornado remained on the ground for several miles and produced a continuous damage path across both rural land and developed areas. The damage pattern showed clear signs of rotation, including converging debris and trees falling in different directions. One of the first heavily affected locations was the area near Monroe County Airport. Several airport structures were damaged, including hangars and fencing. Light structures were bent or torn apart, and debris was scattered across open sections of the airfield. The nature of the damage indicated concentrated rotating winds rather than straight-line wind gusts. Some storage structures were partially destroyed, and sheet metal from damaged buildings was thrown short distances across the property. After passing the airport, the tornado moved into commercial and residential areas on the western side of Bloomington. Several warehouse and industrial buildings sustained roof damage. Portions of roofing material were lifted and deposited nearby, and some exterior walls partially collapsed. Windows were broken by airborne debris, and vehicles in exposed areas were struck by flying material. In nearby residential areas, damage ranged from minor to severe. Some homes lost sections of roofing, while others experienced structural damage to garages and exterior walls. Siding was torn away from multiple houses, and outbuildings were either damaged or destroyed. Trees were snapped along the tornado's path, and some were uprooted entirely. The highest concentration of tree damage was found where the tornado crossed wooded areas, leaving a clearly defined corridor of fallen trunks and branches.
There it is. Wow. Oh my God.
I'm gonna call Noah.
Yep, call Noah.
We got observed NATO. Holy.
Power outages occurred across parts of Monroe County after trees and debris brought down power lines. Several roads were blocked by fallen trees, which slowed emergency response during the early stages of the event. Emergency crews worked through the evening to clear roadways and secure damaged areas. Reports indicated that some residents were treated for minor injuries, but no large number of serious injuries was reported. Advance warning likely reduced the number of people exposed to the most dangerous conditions. As the tornado moved east of Bloomington, it began to weaken. The damage path became less continuous, with scattered areas of tree damage marking the final portion of the track. The tornado eventually dissipated after traveling several miles across the county. Survey teams later confirmed the tornado path by examining structural damage and vegetation patterns. At roughly the same time, severe storms produced several tornadoes in eastern Illinois. Most of these tornadoes were weaker than the one that struck Bloomington. Damage occurred primarily in rural areas, where farm buildings and homes were exposed to the storms. Several structures sustained roof damage, and trees were knocked down along narrow paths. In parts of Illinois, at least one tornado caused notable damage to residential structures, including mobile homes. Some buildings were shifted off their foundations, and debris was scattered across nearby fields. Emergency responders reported that at least one person was injured when a mobile home was overturned. Rescue crews searched damaged structures to ensure that no one remained trapped. The tornado paths in Illinois were generally shorter and narrower than the path documented in Indiana. Many of the affected locations were sparsely populated, which limited the number of buildings impacted. Even so, the damage patterns were consistent with tornado activity, including concentrated destruction and rotating debris fields. Meteorological analysis indicated that the storms developed in an environment with strong wind shear and relatively warm temperatures for February. These conditions supported the formation of rotating thunderstorms capable of producing tornadoes. Once storms formed along the advancing system, multiple tornadoes developed within a period of several hours. Cleanup operations continued after the storms passed. Residents worked to remove debris from homes and properties, while utility crews repaired damaged power lines. Electrical service was restored gradually as damaged infrastructure was replaced. Local authorities coordinated recovery efforts and assessed property damage across the affected areas. Although tornadoes occurred in both Illinois and Indiana, the EF2 tornado near Bloomington accounted for most of the structural damage associated with the outbreak. Its longer track and higher wind speeds produced more widespread impacts than the weaker tornadoes that formed in Illinois.
Okay, so this is
Hail's getting bigger.
The hail's getting bigger.
It's like
The event remained limited in geographic scope,
Oh.
but demonstrated how a mid-strength tornado can cause significant damage when it passes through developed areas. By the end of the week, most major roads had been cleared and emergency operations had shifted toward recovery. The February 19th, 2026 tornadoes in Indiana and Illinois were classified as a localized severe weather event, with the most significant impacts concentrated in the Bloomington area. The storm served as a reminder that tornadoes can occur during late winter, when atmospheric conditions become favorable for severe thunderstorms.
holy shit. Oh, dude, it's literally right here.
Thanks for watching Severe Weather, where we break down the facts behind nature's most intense moments. If you found this video helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe. Your support keeps this channel going. Hit the bell so you never miss a real, calm, and clear report. See you in the next one. Stay informed, stay safe.